Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over some interesting PlayStation news. So if you've never enjoyed the video, drop it a like, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. So the first topic in the video has to do with how PlayStation's earnings has shattered a record. And so reading from PlayStation Universe, the headline reads, PlayStation earnings shatter records with $8.8 billion over holiday 2022. Sony Interactive Entertainment has shattered records for its most profitable quarter yet, pulling in a whopping $8.8 billion during the 3-month period ended December 31st, 2022. This is a record figure for the PlayStation hardware business during Q3 fiscal year 2022, with console earnings firing past $3 billion thanks to the PS5's ever-growing success. Sony's gaming business generated revenue of $8.79 billion and total games and network services revenues growing 23% year on year, representing a $1.6 billion increase. Meanwhile, operating income hit $820 million, which was the best profit for a holiday period by barely eclipsing last year's then record of $817 million. Thanks to the availability of PS5s at retail, Sony's hardware business spiked by 75%, with Sony shipping 7.1 million consoles during the holiday quarter. And so yeah guys, this is very good news for us PlayStation fans, and more specifically the PS5, because now that this chip shortage is finally over and pretty much anyone that wants to get a PS5 now can with relative ease, it's no shock that Sony is now breaking their own records. And this is obviously good to hear, because the more Sony and PlayStation makes, then that's more that they can invest back into their own company and make bigger and better games. And so yeah, this is just very, very positive news for the PlayStation brand. And yeah, down below, let me know your thoughts on the fact that PlayStation has shattered their own records from last year. Moving on to the next topic in the video, we have a very massive rumor going around regarding The Last of Us Part 3. So this is actually coming from The Leak. Their headline says, The Last of Us Part 3 is in the works, despite what reports say. In November of last year, well-known leaker viewer Annan, who has a solid track record, posted that The Last of Us Part 3 was in production. This news gave fans of the game a lot of hope, but with the recent hype around the new, well-received HBO show, creator Neil Druckmann stated that they'd only go ahead with Part 3 if they had a story that was good enough. We've been hearing rumblings of a third entry being in the works in November, and the fact that the budget depends on the success of the show, but these rumors remained unsubstantiated. Druckmann has also previously stated that a storyline was written. Now, our source at Sony, who previously broke the first leak of the PS5 Slim to us, has doubled down and revealed to us that it is indeed in the works. At least according to Sony. Internally, Sony has the title slated as in progress, with Naughty Dog as a developer, with the game being categorized as a PlayStation 5 release with PlayStation 6 in mind. If Sony has it marked down as a game with PlayStation 6 in mind, it might indicate that the game will be released at the end of the PS5 lifecycle with an improved version set for its follow-up console, similar to how the original was released, but this time prepared for the next generation console. Game development cycles are much longer now, and that can't be ignored. As Jason Schreier puts it, fun fact, video game production cycles have gotten so long that if a big budget game studio started working on a brand new project today, it would likely be for the PlayStation 6. And so yeah guys, these are very, very major, also yet conflicting rumors, because this is going against all the previous reports, because earlier this year, Neil Druckmann came out and said, oh, don't believe everything you're seeing on the internet, because a lot of these insiders and their info you're seeing, it's false, and back whenever Part 2 first came out, Neil said that he already wrote an outline for the story of Part 3, and then a couple weeks ago, Neil Druckmann came out whenever he was saying that Naughty Dog is officially moving on from Uncharted. He was saying that there's no pressure to make The Last of Us Part 3, like Sony's not going like, oh guys, you have to make this even if you don't want to. And Neil was saying that they will only make Part 3 if they can come up with a good enough story that does the series justice, and that it's not a guarantee that The Last of Us Part 3 will ever become a reality. They might just end the series with Part 2. And now we're getting this report. I mean, I don't know who The Leak is. I've literally never heard of this website until today. And apparently they have a connection from Sony themselves, and they're saying that The Last of Us Part 3 is currently in production, and that possibly this game might release sometime towards the end of the PS5 life cycle, so around maybe like 2026 or 2027. And also apparently they're keeping the PlayStation 6 in mind while developing this game. So obviously that would mean that this game, which I can almost guarantee this game will be released at some point in the future. It probably won't be until the very end of the PS5 life cycle. And apparently if this report is true, then the PlayStation 6 in mind is probably like whenever the PS6 releases, they'll have like a remaster of Part 3 or something like that, like an enhanced version. And so yeah, guys, these are very, very big rumors coming out for Part 3. And also apparently the budget of The Last of Us Part 3, if it does end up happening, which this article is saying that it is, apparently the budget will be determined by how successful this HBO show is. And as of right now, it seems like the budget is going to be absolutely massive because this show is just blowing up and it's attracting a lot new people that have never played video games or who have never played The Last of Us, and they're falling in love with Joel and Ellie's story. And so yeah, I mean it was always a guarantee that if The Last of Us Part 3 does happen, it's going to have a massive budget. But it seems like if the HBO show is very successful, then they will probably get an even bigger budget, and that in turn will only make the game bigger and better. But what do you guys think down below? Let me know your thoughts on how apparently, despite these reports saying that The Last of Us Part 3 might not happen, apparently it looks like it is currently in development. Moving on to the final topic in the video, we're going to be going over an update for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So once again, reading from PlayStation Universe, the headline reads, Star Wars Jedi Survivor to include fast travel and rideable creatures. Speaking in the latest issue of Play magazine, Star Wars Jedi Survivor game director Stig Asmussen has revealed the game will feature the ability for fast travel and allow players to hop into the backs of rideable creatures. Quote, we will feature both fast travel and rideable creatures to help players quickly get from point A to B and back to A. The fast travel is point to point, and the rideable creatures offer a way to quickly negotiate between points and explore what is in between, unquote. And so yeah, guys, this isn't the biggest update because, I mean, it's better than the last update we got, because the last update we got on this game was that it's been delayed. So that's obviously unfortunate, but that just means the game will get more time to be polished and it'll be a better game because of it. And yeah, it seems like apparently there will be fast travel in this game, so I'm assuming this is going to be a massive open world game. And also, if let's say you don't really want to fast travel like across the map and you want to kind of explore, there's going to be creatures that you can ride in the game. And in the trailer we got for this game, I'm pretty sure it showed like Cow like gliding on some creature, and so that'll probably be a lot of fun. And so yeah, guys, down below let me know your thoughts on the fact that Star Wars Jedi Survivor will be including fast travel and also creatures that you can ride in between. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it or find it informative, drop it a like and hit the subscribe button by turning on the post notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Until next time, guys, take care.